Well, guys, it's officially the new year, and with that, we are looking forward to all the great historical events that lie ahead. Speaking of which, this episode is packed full of things like singers, baseball players, cars, and even gunslingers. So grab onto your hats and hang on.
Does the day that music died ring a bell to anyone? Well, it should, as it was immortalized by American Pie when famous singer Buddy Holly was killed in an untimely plane crash on January 5th of 1959. It was pretty interesting to us that he wrote all of his songs and that he also popularized the setup of the two guitars, a bass, and the drums, and it wasn't until after his death that people started using this in their bands around the world.
One of the biggest parts of baseball is the trading that occurs between the different teams. They're all trying to find those players that are going to make their team better and shine so that they can go to the playoffs or maybe even the World Series. January 6th of 1920 is one such day that would change baseball history as we know it. On this day, Babe Ruth was traded from the Boston Red Sox to the New York Yankees. This was a decision made by the Boston Red Sox owner Harry Frazee because he couldn't meet the salary demands of Babe Ruth. And well, the rest is history.
Hold on a minute, let me get straightened up here. You're probably wondering why I was doing that. Well, I was doing it to make a point. Could humans actually defy the law of nature? Well, some people think so due to the fact that the Leaning Tower of Pisa is still standing. Well, on the other hand, due to the fears that the tower might actually topple over, it was closed for the first time in 800 years to the public on January 6th of 1920. The tilt was 16 feet off the perpendicular line, and every year it increases by 1/12 of an inch.
So I know we've kind of talked about this before, but this story actually takes it in just a little bit of a different direction. You've no doubt noticed those commercials that play during your children's TV shows. Yeah, those, the ones that tell your kids, hey, you need this brand new toy, or you need this expensive video game, or whatever it might be. And before you know it, you're down at the toy store buying that brand new item. While obviously it hasn't worked out yet, there have always been and continue to be groups that are fighting to get rid of commercials during children's programming. One such group, called the Action for Children's Television on January 8th of 1973, decided to make their request public and ask the federal government to get rid of commercials. There was a 2.5 hearing scheduled, but unfortunately the FCC declined their request and commercials are still on till this day.
The luxury of buying all different types of cars has not always been around. It all started when Henry Ford made his first affordable automobile, but you know what comes after that? Well, after Henry Ford's car, people get the idea that maybe they can do the same thing. Well, this is indeed the case when Toyota and Datsun show up at an imported motor car show for the first time on January 9th of 1958 in Los Angeles, California.
Every now and then I dream about what it must have been like to live in the Old West. Hollywood hypes it up to be a big battle between Native Americans and cowboys, or bandits and the law, but there's one thing that was definitely real that I wish I could have witnessed, and that was Old West gun shows. I can't even imagine being in the company of Annie Oakley or Buffalo Bill Cody. They were some of the best in the business. Unfortunately, January 10th of 1917 was the day that Buffalo Bill would actually die at his sister's home in Denver, Colorado. While his time has passed, his legend definitely lives on.
I'm sure there are plenty of you out there that enjoy the ability to go to school online. But what if this luxury wasn't around? I mean, we are in the 20th century and all, but it wasn't that long ago that online classes came to be. Interestingly enough, on January 11th of 1973, Great Britain awarded diplomas to the first graduates of Open University. It was set up in 1971 in order that students could still go to work and go to school at the same time. Unlike our colleges today, this was a big step for this time period.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. We really appreciate you checking us out and watching our videos. Be sure to come back next Friday as we post our new episode. Thanks for watching, guys.
Please follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and please subscribe to our channel because we couldn't do it without you.